I'm Richard Brown. I'm the general curator of the Flint RiverQuarium, and I'm responsible for the health and welfare of all the animals in the aquarium. And I hire the people who take care of the animals, help train them, make sure that we make protocols and the protocols are followed, and make sure that all the animals are as healthy as we can manage. My first job was paperboy at Oklahoma State in Stillwater, Oklahoma. So I've come a long way since then. My first job in the field, I was an algae tech for Texas A&M mariculture station in Galveston. First job as an aquarist was at the Houston Zoo Aquarium. And then after that, I'd say I was there for 2 years, and then after that I was at the SeaWorld of Orlando and the aquarium department there, and I was there for 17 years. And I've taken care of everything from goldfish to octopus to sharks, and so you name it, and I've taken care of it, and it's been a great time. Now I've been here at the Flint RiverQuarium for the last 9 years. So I was here when we first started in 2004, and I helped add the aviary on. And taking care of birds was something I never really counted on, but it's been a great pleasure and a lot more fun than I would have expected. So. I really don't remember that. I remember I used to buy a lot of comic books back then. I didn't have much in the way of expenses, so it was probably like candy and comic books at the time. But I do remember one year we got a prize for, went out canvassing trying to get more subscribers, and I got a turkey for Christmas for the family, and that was kind of cool. I enjoyed that. The most challenging part has been the fact that this particular system, our blue hole, is unique in the fact that it's open to the elements. So that leads you some opportunities for predators to come in and eat your fish, like great blue herons and egrets. We've seen them both picking off a few of our fry. And also there's the potential for disease to get spread into the blue hole, so we have to kind of be on the watch out for that too. So things that I really like is I like having my arms up to the elbow in the water taking care of aquariums, and I like scrubbing the algae and cleaning and vacuuming the aquariums and stuff like that. Just the basic stuff that it takes to keep an aquarium going, which it's just a part of the pleasure that you have when you do this job. On an island, well, a Leatherman tool comes in handy because you can do a lot of things with it. And probably if I was on an island, I'd need a fish hook and maybe some line. Does that take up all three of them? Because I think you'd also need something to start a fire with. But, I'm not real good at rubbing sticks together. I can do it, but I'd rather have some flint and something to strike some tinder with, Oh, that's a good one. One thing I'd tell myself is not to worry so much, because in this position you worry about the animals, you worry about the people, you worry about how they're interacting, and it can take away from the fun if you're not really careful. I'd tell myself everything's going to be okay, just keep working hard and you'll get there. That's what I tell myself. Well, I like being around the water. Amazingly enough, I'm not a fisherman. I mean, I would fish, like on the desert island, I'd fish to keep from being hungry, but I like being out in nature, and sometimes my wife and I will canoe down the Flint, or, some of these, like the Kitchafuni and things like that. We enjoy being out of doors, and we have 3 dogs. We like walking the dogs and taking care of them, and just relaxing mostly, because I get a lot of hands-on interaction in the water with these animals. I scuba dive in here all the time, and so when I get home I'm pretty tired. So I do a lot of relaxing. Well, believe it or not, I use the computer, even though we're working with the fish all the time. We have an aquatic info server, so you have to keep up with the trade and find out what other people are doing and how they're combating certain diseases and ailments with the fish and what they're doing to make things more efficient. Also, I have to order a lot of equipment. I have to, keep up with everybody else that's in our facility, and we use email for that. So I probably have to say it was a computer. Although I will also say that we have a piece of equipment called the spectrophotometer, and that allows us to run water samples, and we're able to see what the water quality is like in the tanks, whether we have ammonia or nitrite, nitrate. We can check our pHs and all of that, and that's a very important instrument to us too. So I like that as well. I do. I read a little bit. I read, right now I'm reading Steinbeck's Log of the Sea of Cortez. Was recommended me by a friend, and it's about collecting in the Sea of Cortez, which is something that I kind of enjoyed when I was going through college, was field trips and collecting. I mean, probably like everybody, I like to sit around and veg out in front of the television every now and then, and I'm fortunate I live on the river, so I like going back there and standing on the dock and looking at the cypress trees and stuff like that. So. Yeah, well, Jacques Cousteau, of course. I don't know whether to kiss him or hit him. Sometimes this is a tough little job, but if it hadn't been for their underwater photography and stuff, I think that really sparked my imagination, and so it's made for quite a ride. It really has, and so I like trying to think of. There's one of my first curators, Nelson Herwig, wrote the book on fish disease, and I've always admired him. And I worked for a fellow named Ray Davis, who was the guy who brought the whale sharks into Atlanta. And I learned a lot from him, and he's over in China right now putting together a new aquarium over there, a really big one too, and it's going to have whale sharks. So he's another person I've admired greatly. So. I would take, well, there's two things really. The first thing would be to go to the South Pacific and do all the diving and snorkeling until I just got sick of it. And I'm not sure how long that would take me. It could be quite a while, to be honest with you. But I'd also like to go over to Europe and see the way people live over there, and see places like the Colosseum and things like that. Some of the classic landmarks of our time.
All right, so yeah, how did you find yourself in?
Well, even before I was a paper boy, I'd had a thing for, well, first goldfish, then my parents got me an aquarium, and so I've been taking care of aquariums since I was 8. And during high school and college, I started in the saltwater because of the beauty and the brilliance of the fish that are saltwater fish, particularly the tropical saltwater. So things like Nemo and Dory and things. Believe it or not, I had a Pottus tang, a Dory tang, before there was Dory. So that was one of my favorites always. And so I've always had a thing for aquariums. So at some point I decided that I'd kind of like to take a career in that direction. And the calling card for that is a degree in marine biology, or degree in biology in general. And so I went to Texas A&M and got a degree in marine biology, and then I was working as my first aquarium job was as an aquarist at the Houston Zoo Aquarium. And then SeaWorld, was there for 17 years, like I said, and then on to here for the last 9 years. So I've always liked aquariums, liked fish, liked taking care of them, and it's just a thing of mine. I've been very privileged to be able to follow that dream.